Lotus Exige for a bog standard Porsche Cayman. After all, the Lotus Exige was actually a faster car, you'd say, 0 to 60, and it is. But if you watch the video that I did of my trip to Yorkshire, you'll see that the Lotus had some serious drawbacks, especially when it comes to travelling any kind of distance. So, yeah, there was a reason why I needed to change it. So why not go for the new Lotus Exige? The Lotus Exige S, current model, if I wanted one the same year and the same mileage as this Cayman, was over £6,000 more than the Cayman, and that's a lot of money. So what do I get in the Cayman for my £6,000 less money than I would have paid if I'd have bought an Exige? Well, actually quite a lot. I got an Alcantara steering wheel, I get a paddle shift controllers. Now I know you can get paddle shift controllers on the Lotus Exige, and I tried them and they were squidgy. It was almost like squeezing a sponge when you wanted to change gear, and even when it did change gear, it seemed to take an age to do it. Whereas with the Cayman, the minute you pull the paddle shift to change gear, it's instantaneous. I also get a massive rev counter. This one is in yellow, which is even better for me anyway. So nice big yellow rev counter, an LCD digital display which I can go through and I can set lots of different features, like how long the interior lights stay on, showing the date, different features of the car. So I get that as well. I also get a lot of comfort. I mean, these seats are so much more comfortable than that of the Lotus Exige. We've also got a lovely centre console which is giving me all kinds of little toys. I've got the sport button which puts the car into the sports mode. I've got the traction control button. I've got a button to make the exhaust get louder and quieter, and I've even got a button to make the rear spoiler go up and down. I mean, what more could you want? I've also got a fantastic leather interior and, of course, the famous Porsche cup holders. Apparently, hours of engineering went in to making those cup holders work, and unlike the Exige, I now have somewhere to put my coffee. Now, for a car that's a sports car, it has phenomenal energy saving features. For example, when I'm driving along and I take my foot off the accelerator, the car goes into what Porsche call a coast mode, where the engine just goes to idle, saving loads of fuel, almost like you knocked it into neutral. It produces phenomenal miles to the gallon. When I was driving it back after I collected it, I just couldn't believe that the fuel gauge was going up. This is a two-seater mid-engine sports car, but it's got as much luggage space, almost, as a full-blown BMW touring car. So, all in all, you're getting a hell of a lot of car for your money. Now, when I went to the dealer at Lotus and said, look, I'm really sorry, I'm changing my car for a Porsche Cayman, he looked at me and said, well, yeah, but Caymans are everywhere. And I had to agree with that, but yes, the reason they're everywhere is because they're so good. The other thing I haven't mentioned, of course, is the car's interesting ability to very easily be able to go sideways. But obviously we can't demonstrate that on a public road. A couple of years ago, I had the chance to try the Lamborghini Gallardo. And during that very short test drive, I couldn't help think that the Lamborghini was like an Italian car, which it is, but it was trying to be German. Because when I got inside the car, I was confronted with all of the traditional Audi switchgear. When I drive the Cayman, it seems to be the other way around. So what I've got here is a German car, but when I look at the big yellow rev counter, the sweeping curves through when I look into the rear view mirror and the fantastic noise it makes, it seems to me that the Cayman is a German car that actually feels Italian. And that can't be a bad thing. So hopefully I've given you some explanation as to why the Cayman seemed to me to be the best choice. And over the next coming months, possibly even years, I'll be finding out whether or not that was the right decision. But certainly, so far for me, this is definitely a great car and a great choice.